Morning, everybody. Up for the Saturday Legacy Challenge. So this will be the first of 2 challenges this weekend. And yeah, we're going to put the Stompy post list to the test. I feel good about the list, so we'll see now. Get my chat set up here. Maybe if we can top 8 one of these challenges, people will start showing respect to this other list. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's like plays out very differently than like any other deck. Just the sequencing lands and everything. But yeah, I'm excited for this challenge. 82 players, so 7 rounds. On the play here. Lots of mana. I'll try it. And just hope we draw into our business spells. Uh-oh. Hopefully you don't die this next turn. But we're dead. Invigorate. Uh-oh. Wow. Yeah, I gotta put a blocker down. Maybe I hit the Glacial Chasm, luckily. I think last week in the challenge I played Infect. I don't know if it's the first round, but sometime early in the league. Probably just dead now. Don't have a pump spell, please. One time. Oh my god. I can't believe this. Let's see what's in their hand first. I don't know. I would take like a crop rotation if they had that. Daze, Force of Will, Daze. Take the Force of Will. Get Glacial Chasm Eye here. Let's get rid of this other cavern, this elf one. And if I get to attack next turn, then I just have the 20 for Emrakul. try and win here. I feel like we probably shouldn't have won this game, but we somehow did. At 9 infect. That was close, everybody. Man, nothing like a nail biter like that the first game to wake you up. Alright, I want these extra ballistas and tabernacle here. That's probably it. Maybe I don't need these spyglasses. My Thought-Knots coming out. I do want all of my land searching creatures to try and get the chasm. But we're going to try and depend on the Walking Ballistas this game. There's a ballista. This is the Stompy version of the 12-post deck, if you haven't seen it before. It's kind of an experiment of mine, but I've been really liking it. Do I play Chalice here? I could play Ballista, kill this. Hey, Tachi-san. Welcome back. We're putting this list to the real test today. The serious competition. I mean, it'll be a couple turns before I can get this Ballista to anything bigger than a 1/1. So I'm kind of inclined to just play this Ballista now, ping this Hierarch, and hopefully that'll be... Who knows, maybe that'll set him back enough time. Yeah, let's do that. What's one of the nice things about having 4 ballistas is even if this had resolved, you can just kind of throw one away to kill one small creature. You got plenty more. That was a failure there, though. Chalice out. It's A's again. God, force pitching brainstorm. I don't want to do this. I guess I'll just play a Cloudpost for now. Probably next turn to Forest. The turn after that, Vesuva on Forest. Hopefully we live that long. Who knows, maybe we draw like a Cavern of Souls by then. Vesuva can also be used to copy their Inkmoth Nexus. Use that to block their infect. And infect is always like a terrifying matchup for post. But this particular list, I feel like, has a lot more weapons than most lists do. Alright, well, hopefully we just don't die yet. These 3 Jolly Green Giants. Cardboard live list should be correct. Oh, nice. Good luck, Lightning X. I'm glad you're enjoying this list. I feel like people are sleeping on it. I've been like having a ton of fun playing it. I think it's like pretty decent too, like, competitively. Just have to figure out like how to play it and build it. I'll have to check that 4th prime time. Yeah, if I can watch that, I'd like to see you play that. And somehow we won the first round, like, at 9 infect. I don't think we should have. Oh, come on. One more turn, please. One more turn. Just 2 bump spells does it. Oh, that's fine. Magic is like a universal language. Yeah, I've actually played Magic in Germany, Japan, Italy. Yes. Let's get Glacial Chasm, of course. And let's just get a Cavern to get these other prime times going. As long as we can just dodge the Wasteland, it should be good now. And they don't even have the unblockable creature. Ugh. Yes. This deck is very, like, punishing. Very unforgiving. Just, like, make one incorrect land drop and just, like, throws everything off. Here, I'll save this link here. Going without Kozilek Butcher of Truth today. Just 2 Walking Ballistas main and then 2 in the sideboard. It feels kind of weird, but you shall see. So I could be super, super safe here. And get a Vesuva and get a 2nd Glacial Chasm. I don't know if that's necessary. Yeah, I might as well. No point in being extremely safe. Let's get Vesuva and just another Cloudpost. Get rid of this other tomb. And then with one of the next prime times, we'll get Eye, and then probably just plan to win after that. I think 2 Chasms is probably fine. I don't think they have 2 Wastelands. Yeah, I know people aren't fans of Kozilek. It's like my pet card, though. But I understand. I feel like we're probably in a more competitive spot now without it. New Emrakul. I've never been a fan of Promised End, but a lot of people do enjoy it. I might choke. I hope not. I don't want to choke. Eye, Cloudpost. And then we'll just swing for victory next turn. Let's see what's in their hand, too. Man. Game 1, if you go back and watch that, was... Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't have won that. That was nice and fast. And I'm watching Blade Wings game. I guess I could just start a league, though. It's so early. Let me update the stream info. So yeah, this is what we're running today. Pile view. And that's Sole. If you still have that list with Excavator, I know you sent it to me once when I was on stream, but my computer was shit then. Be down to look at it again if you have that. So I thought that was a pretty sweet list. And also the player last week named he like beat us in the 12 post mirror with like Explorer and Exploration effects. I'm gonna see if I can see his list as well. That looks pretty sweet. Oh, sweet, thanks. Yeah, I think like you did the Mox diamonds correctly. Because I never really liked Mox for the most part, with these post decks. But definitely if you have something like Excavator to gain some value back with it. Oh, Infect, man. Just wakes me up entirely. Oh yeah, I kind of wonder that too. Like I would think that Rejuvenator is probably better than those kinds of things. Just has more reach and finding like the land. Although it does like whiff a fair amount. Just very annoying. I forget what Recross the Path does. I know I've seen that card. Oh, interesting. It's NU land too. There's also Bounty of Skemkar, which is like a Rejuvenator. Pretty recent. For this like Stompy list though, I felt like, yeah, he's pretty good as a chump blocker. I played with like Karns and even like Show and Tells and stuff. I kind of like just would prefer to keep this list as creature dense as possible. Yeah, there's not enough like good elves really. Maybe just either Rejuvenator and then either like Spirit Guide. Maybe Wood Elves. I think I mentioned it on stream. Maybe that's like way too janky. Yeah. And also you just like run out of deck space too when you're trying to squeeze all that stuff in. It's kind of where I'm at with this list. Oh, awesome. Thanks, man. I can see it now at last. 4 wastelands around together with 4 Cloudposts. I never thought I'd see it. Oh, this Chalice is probably really bad. I think I probably want to take this Thought-Knot. Let's play the Spyglass out. Paradoxical Outcome? The fuck? I think Flooded Strand is the name for sure. And some spicy combo stuff out there. Yeah, like Paradoxical and Legacy. Surprising. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should have just done Chalice. Yeah. Alright. It's a lesson learned. Also against, like, that Urza deck. Definitely do Chalice on 0. Yeah. I give him, like, 2 extra draws now. And blue mana. I probably just lost the game because I didn't play it. Oh, live and learn. At least we'll get to see what their deck does. Maybe be inspired. Yeah, it just looks so lonely without Kozilek in a list. Just looking at this here. I know some people have played like 1 or 2 Reclaimers rather than the full 4. And just like Green Sun for it, or search it up in the matches where it's not going to die immediately. Which isn't, definitely not a terrible idea. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely, on the legacy boundary between vintage and legacy cards. Probably just need to Thought-Knot him. Let's take something. I'll play my Chalice out this time. Faerie Mentor. It's kind of tough, actually. Probably just Faerie. I can maybe deal with Mentor. I don't know, it's kind of tough, too. No, Faerie's just annoying, but Mentor could kill me, so I think I need to kill Mentor. At least I have multiple things that they might want to bounce. Cheerios. Jeez. I was like brainstorming probably some god awful like post list, but with like expedition maps with like Emery and stuff. An artifact based one. I mean, it never came to fruition, but it probably just would end up being like a worse Urza deck. I always liked Teleria West as well, but yeah, I don't think it's good enough. Oh yeah, they don't have their next second color. I think I'm getting Karakas with this Golos, and then we just go from there. Smack him. Oh yeah. I mean, if these kind of lists can do well in Legacy, I suppose like Amulet Plume would be fine too. God, the Ancient Tomb damage. I could just get a Cloudpost here and start by ramping. The next turn I'd have to take 1 less Ancient Tomb. Yeah, let's do that actually. Looks like I'm just going to try and beat him down too. Exploration, yeah. Punted too. Alright, Force of Vigors, probably Mindbreak Traps. Possibly even Fairies, but probably have more than enough stuff already. Oh, thanks for following, Bladewing. Yeah, I'm streaming on every weekend. Sometimes this one today, but generally every Sunday. I'm going to be playing this Stompy list for the near future, though. More enthusiastic about that. It's cutting all of these, I guess. So some of the sideboarding rules of this deck, if you're bringing like all the Force of Vigors in, you want to keep all the green cards. So that locks in these. And then I just side out Thought-Knots often, just because I guess they're like the least related to the rest of the deck. Oh, nice. Blue-white Stoneblade. That's a great matchup. I hope we see lots of like miracles today. Those kind of decks. This is the dual land I like to see, but this particular deck, probably not so much. Yeah, you gotta watch out for the back to basics. The true enemy. If I don't draw another, like a tomb next turn, I'll probably just Vesuva my forest. I mean, that obviously makes sense, but that'll give me like the second green source to just hardcast Force of Vigor later, potentially. This feels like kind of like the Urza Echo deck, where you just have to have the right hate pieces. I see them sometimes have like a single back to basics main. But I feel like generally there's like just two in the sideboard. That's about it. Oh yeah, Summoning Trap. That's how I started with this list. This is just the first spell, right? Yeah. Yeah, I knew about Mentor. I shouldn't have taken the ballistas out. It's alright, gotta get my mistakes out of the way in these non-challenge matches. How have you liked Summoning Trap, Bladewing? Because I remember people were playing it like a year ago or so. But I remember hearing complaints that it just like whiffs a ton of the time. I haven't really like played it enough to evaluate it all that much. That's actually where these Thought-Knots, like, these are kind of a holdover from having Summoning Trap in the deck. Oh, I know what I'm Force of Vigoring now. I'm guessing this is for Thassa's Oracle for the most part. Just hit the Emrakul, the best possible one. Stupid Torpor Orb. Good against Thassa's Oracle and Stompy Post. It's just Vesuva, right? I can't afford this damage with Tomb right now. Yeah, that was the same thing with Show and Tell back in the day. If you had a choice between a Prime Time and like an Eldrazi, it was still just better to Show and Tell in a Prime Time. So I imagine like the same thing is probably true with Summoning Trap. It is cool that you can just like cast it end of turn as well. Just get an end step Prime Time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I probably should have just taken a chance with the Tomb. Playing pretty poorly. This deck is interesting though, we're up against. Let's see, if they don't play another spell, I can live. But a single spell, or yeah. All my bombs are, let's take it. What are the odds of this? I still don't even have anything to cast from hand. Just block one of the tokens, I guess. Kill him. Aw, damn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Close. Alright. Change of plans. Put these ballistas back. I don't know, maybe Mindbreak Trap isn't what I want. I think these Force of Vigors can probably contain them as much as I need to. And also maybe these Spyglasses aren't doing enough for me. You're probably right. I just conceded to my own poor play at that point. Just said, let's go to game 3. I mean, you missed that other turn, so I guess there's a reasonable chance they'll miss again. Probably want Tabernacle, actually, too. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are right. Actually, why am I even having Spyglass in, now that I think about it? Because all I saw were, like, Grim Monolith and PO. Yeah, I'll try it. Just Chalice on 0. Hopefully this finds, like, a Golos or a Prime Time. Ballista, Prime Time. I'll just take the Prime Time, I guess. Oh, thanks, Staxy. Appreciate it. I mean, I still need a second green source if I do take Prime Time here. But, like, Golos could get that for me if I draw into that. Yeah, I think I need just a good payoff. Yeah, we got game 1 against, or round 1 against Infect, so it's a real nail biter. Oh yeah, me too. I've considered Cydia Traders just for like a one-time burst of mana, but it's not what I want in this deck. Ooh. I forget what deck it was that played this against me. I eventually just like beat him down with vanilla Prime Times. Yeah, you're right. So you get like half of the lands. This game just feels like it's heading in the wrong direction. Oh, it's Hush Spirit. Destroy all enchantments. No, it's like Reverent Silence. But you have to cast it, actually. Interesting. Oh, Hush Vigor. Okay, that's cool. It's like a Torpor Orb on a stick. This is a PO, looks like it. Legacy PO. You gotta love it. I wonder if this deck has like Karn. Because I played that Cloudpost, I'm just not gonna have enough mana for this prime time. Like no matter what. Just really unfortunate. I'm still gonna attempt to cast it next turn. Oh yeah, they probably would have played out all this shit from hand. Yeah, it's no shortage of lands, that's for sure. Me and opponent both like to hurt ourselves with our ancient tombs. We're lucky we dodged Mentor so far, too. So yeah, we have 28 lands in this deck, which is way more than most lists. But we wanted to dense enough, or be land dense enough to just hit them with stuff like Rejuvenator Once Upon a Time. And despite 28 lands, Rejuvenator still misses sometimes. Pretty annoying. Man, they're close to just dying to like a Ballista, too. Go Vanilla 6/6. Probably have Swords to Plowshares, I would think. That's for sure they'd have like Force of Will, though. One land and 5 cards. 96%. I've definitely whiffed on it like 3 times, too. Like in the recent memory. Good old Moto statistics. Oh, this like screwed over their Urza. Kill you? Yeah. Yeah, I know people don't trust the Moto Shuffler, but I guess it's all like psychological. Yeah, I think they did forget that. I saw that when an Uro opponent played that too. And this is very annoying, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, our creatures still beat an attack. Also, the Eldrazi are just cast triggers, so that doesn't actually stop or prevent Eldrazi triggers from happening. Alright, we'll just hang out until this next round starts. So yeah, welcome everyone. This is the list we're on today. Yeah, I like 4 ofs if you didn't notice. So there's basically 4 of every copy of every card here. We're... Despite being green and having similar cards to the other post list, this is a vastly different type of deck. Now, we have no ways to search up particular lands, like no crop rotation, no reclaimer. So this list is all about throwing out hate, throwing out quick mana at the very start, and then using these specific land tutoring creatures, Golos in prime time, to finally find like Eye of Ugin and close out the game. Closer to a Tron list. I guess so. Well, actually, no. I don't say that. This is like... there's a lot more thinking to this than Tron. Hopefully, people will see that through today as we play it out. Because I feel like it's pretty challenging even for like me to play sometimes. I'm not used to the sequencing entirely. But you're basically utilizing some just very powerful lands to get the creatures down, to get to your big end game. And that'll just vary depending on the matchup and what you have in hand. But yeah, like these Cavern of Souls, that's kind of the thing I added based on the list I saw. Say you find like a Vesuva, you copy Cavern, and then you get to name a different creature type, like the next thing you're looking to cast. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. No other deck really plays out like this, at least in my experience. So hopefully we get to see this deck in doing good stuff today. Oh yeah, that's Blade Wing. I was thinking that's probably like the biggest misconception of this post deck is because people compare it to Tron. Like it's nobody's fault, but at some point somebody said, "Oh, it's the Tron of Legacy," and that just like gave it a bad reputation for whatever reason. Honestly, addicting coffee? Nah, not really. I was pretty excited to see like the Bajuka Bog and everything when it got spoiled. But yeah, my list in real life is all like just new frame foil. So I probably won't even just get those cards. I'll post the my physical list on my Twitter at some point. That could be a good thing to post there. I've actually really liked Vesuva a lot. I don't think I want to cut one actually. I feel like a lot of the creativity of the deck, like how you play it out, is dependent on how you use Vesuva actually. I was gonna say, this is the deck that's like all about Vesuva. Oh, it's challenge, cool. Yeah, I wonder like how expensive they're gonna be, like foil, time-shifted cards. But no, I probably actually won't spend money on it, to be honest. Alright, turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Rejuvenator. Yeah, I think I remember that. They just like had some poor opinions on the deck from what I heard. Oh, he's looking to play a lot of Cloudpost, so he can play the big Eldrazi in his deck. Just kind of like analysis like that. Oh yeah, Vesuva. Didn't it get reprinted as a mythic too? Yeah, I think I remember that Punishing Post deck, like vaguely. But yeah, this is the deck that's doing Vesuva some respect here in honor of its reprinting. Oh, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm just gonna play the Rejuvenator with this Forest and save this for like a prime time. Alright, let's bring this up here. We have no Cloudpost, unfortunately. We can get another Cavern, a Glimmerpost. If I get the Ancient Tomb, if we spike a Prime Time, we're in luck next turn. But that's, I mean, there's one Prime Time right here even. And I think I'm going to take another Cavern actually. Because that way I can use one of these for Prime Time and then another one for this Ballista in hand. Let's take Construct with this. I don't think they needed to make it mythic, honestly. Oh man, it was Prime Time. Well. Should have been my usual risky self. Let's play this Ballista out at least. And I'll do it with out exposing this Cavern. Yeah. It's like, if you were to just look at this deck list, a lot of it would just like defy like common knowledge, or what am I looking for the word? You just see like, oh, there's like 5 different creature types, but Cavern of Souls. Or there's like 4 basic forests, but there's green cards. But like, despite that limitation of Cavern, just naming one creature type, I still think it's like worth it in this deck. Like, assuming no Wasteland here, we'll get to get this Prime Time off. This feels like an Uro. That Uro better not bring a Wasteland. Sweet. Oh, 2/6 split. Yeah, that was like the first list I tried. Alright, let's get this Prime Time. Name Giant. I'm just gonna get Cloudpost here. Just try and win with that Ballista. Oh, nice. Yeah, we've done like leagues like that in Arizona here. Back when we used to be able to play. This spot right here would have been a good place to have a Bajuka Bog in the deck. But that's something I was testing before. I don't think it's really worth it. You could watch one of your matches in between rounds if you got like not enough time to play a game. I need something pretty good here. Decay on Chalice. Like, we have lethal and just damage right now. Okay, so this list we're playing against. Do we expect Life from the Lone Wasteland? I think I'm going to bring in at least like a couple fairies. I know I've seen like a bug list kind of like that did have Loam like a week or so ago. Probably don't need the Ballistas. I might just bring all of these in. It's for Uros. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm not super up to date with the list, but I thought I could tell by, especially by the Triome land, I think that was like an indicator that there's some like land Field of the Dead base deck. And then beyond that, maybe trim a couple Thought-Knots and the Ballistas, I guess. I don't know, maybe the Thought-Knots are better than like a couple Golos. Not certain at all. Unclaimed territories. Yeah, I saw a lot of like some odd lands that game. I didn't really pay much attention. All this. Need more than 0 lands against a wasteland deck. This is probably a land, but I don't trust it now. That's much better. What's going to the bottom? I just thought not. Yeah, let's put that down and just hope we draw into. I mean, I thought that's just not going to win us the game, so I have to try and find like a prime time or something. Could just play the forest here, hold off on the Once Upon a Time, and then next turn find maybe like an Ancient Tomb, get Rejuvenator down. Let's just see it now, actually. Kind of tempted to just play the Cloudpost out. Hey, Jay in the Play, thank you for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the this Stompy list. Hopefully you get to see us stomp some people. Okay, decisions now. I can see a case for taking like any of these. I'm almost tempted to just get the Cloudpost and go that route. Just because I don't really have anything else going on in the hand. And then if we dodge like a lone wasteland, then we'll be set with like whatever we draw later. I can also take a Faerie Macabre and be a little protected against Loam. You can also take the Tomb, play Rejuvenator next turn, and safely play Forest this turn. Yeah, I think I don't know what turn 2 Rejuvenator really does for me at this point, so I think I'm just gonna better off trying to go for a Cloudpost ramp. Alright, no wasteland yet. That's good. This is actually exactly the match where I really wanted Pachuca Bog to be in the deck. These Triome name lands have like pretty bad names. Like, nobody remembers Zagoth Triome. Yeah, it was a debate I had. I did test it quite a bit. But it's not like I could say I had like a definitive like understanding of whether I wanted a Bog actually or not. It just felt like it wasn't relevant in enough of the matches. But yeah, I feel the same way. Like, it just feels like there should be one in there, even off of like a prime time. Yeah, yeah. And Faerie Macabre, despite like my doubts with that card, Just like not being an actual spell. I mean, it does have a lot of like little advantages you might not like think of at first. I feel like I might as well just play this Rejuvenator off this Cavern. Maybe we find like Eye of Ugin. Glimmer, Cavern. Let's take another Cavern at this point. Let's get Giant with this one. It's like, do I want to know what's in their hand? Like, yeah, I don't need an extra card, whatever. Next turn land will probably be Glimmerpost. Barring some other, whatever our draw is. At this point, if we get to a point where we have to play another Cavern out, probably we'll just name Scout with that one. Yeah, Scout's definitely the next most important creature. I really want to believe they don't have low moist. I spoke too soon. I was like, man, maybe they don't actually have it. They do. Whenever they go to draw next, I'm gonna Faerie it. Let's do it now. Sure, I'll take my Once Upon a Time, so they can't surgical it. Yeah. As far as the graveyard hate cards go, like Faerie Macabre just feels super weak to me. I still would play it over like Leyline. Damn it. Guess I might as well get the Strix out of the way now. Could play the Forest out actually. I know I said Glimmerpost before, but I feel like the Forest would do more for me if I potentially draw like a Once Upon a Time. Yeah, it does have good synergy with Once. Oh, if we play like Oops All Spells too, I think that's the hate piece I'd most like to have as far as grave hate goes. Draw some gas here. This is definitely a problem that sometimes happens with this list. I feel like I get flooded. Which makes sense with 28 lands. Even so. Yeah, Uro and Sylvan Library even. It's a good combination. Got so many good draws though, so Not giving up hope yet. Never do. Okay, now I do. Oh, that's smart. They hit the cavern. I feel like I should attempt this now. It's not going to get much better. I don't want them to hardcast like Force or draw extra cards. Force of Negation, that is. I mean, maybe at that point I would rather them just pay the mana. I don't know, I'm not a blue player. I don't know what the best time to play that would be. I guess considering I could like draw into Ulamog with that, probably should have just attempted it right there. Yeah. Yeah, it's variance. Can't be upset about it. I'm going to hold this second cavern in hand until see what we draw. Yeah. Oh, I know. It's okay, post deck. It's tried its best. It's like a hard cast Force. Force of Will. Let's see, we have 2 more draw steps. What do you bet? It's Forest. And like another Cavern of Souls. Got Field of the Dead too. Alright, we might just have actually 1 draw now. It's probably pretty likely. That's a shitty draw too. Card on the bottom. Could play this for something ridiculous. Like 10. Yeah, I'll do 5. And if I draw my Golos, I have this other cavern for that. Yeah, this is probably the deck. Because I like Stompy decks in general. But I feel like I cast Chalice for odd numbers, like, in this deck more than any other deck. Like, next game I might be interested in playing it for 4. Card on bottom. Not my Chalice on 5. Yeah, those are the worst draws. Okay, what did I cut? I short too much action. I mean, usually Ballista is pretty good against Planeswalkers, but against the rest of this deck, I don't think it's worth it. Like, I prefer the Spyglass as a more general answer to not only Wasteland, but also Jace and that stuff. Yeah, we could bring some Thought-Knots back in. Is it better than Golos, though, is the question. Or rather, like, what should we cut instead? Yeah, maybe I'll just go down on Golos. We keep Thought-Knots maxed. I feel like these Thought-Knots will eat a... Yeah, it's a better clock, and it also will eat a Force of Will earlier, essentially. I like it. Yeah, so I side out Thought-Knot pretty often, but I guess this is definitely the kind of matchup where we want it. Slower, grindy blue decks. There we go. It did not shuffle. Yeah, let's just play one of these out. Start fighting through the counters. Yeah, that's true. It's a good thing to eat a counter there. It's probably named Prime Time. Was it? God damn it. I always forget that. Whenever it's like the third turn or so. Yeah, that would have been a great Once Upon a Time. Now this thing is annoying. It's Golos. I'm gonna play Thought-Knot first, though. Gotta run out of counters at some point. Hopefully, I don't have another meddling mage now. Yeah. It's a great feeling. Hero, of course. Alright, I'm gonna ferry this then. That's gonna be annoying. What else do we hit with this Faerie Macabre? Probably Brainstorm, in case they're running Mystic Sanctuary. Polluted Delta gives them some value with Loam, so... Yeah, I think just Loam. Let's see if this resolves first. I think... Yes. Let's get Eye. Just gonna hit this now. Dodge Wasteland for a turn. It's not too bad. We saw a Wasteland game too, so we know that there is one in the deck. Man, everything about this right now feels really good. Remove Meddling Mage. Just... Okay, they have one card in hand. See if I play this. Fuck. Probably should have played that Glimmerpost out, actually. Now I have... Alright, I think I'm actually gonna just wait to use this Eye of Ugin rather than just cast this Golos. I don't want this Eye to go to waste, so... And I'm like 1 mana short if I... Even with another Locust land off that Golos. Yeah, I definitely should have just played Glimmerpost right there. I was thinking too quickly. That's the difficulty with land drops in this deck. Like, even just a simple Glimmerpost, the 1 damage mattered. Or the 1 mana. Now I'll just search up Emrakul. Hopefully just be done with it. Intuition? Fuck. You get a Wasteland here? Color me surprised. This is like old school lands. They're just a turn too short though. So yeah, we'll have to keep in mind how many games we'll have played where we wanted to have a Bojuka Bog somewhere in the 75. This was certainly one of those games. Alright, so whatever we do, just don't give them Wasteland. Let's see. I'm just gonna give them life from the loam. Because they... yeah. They need to make their land drop to even cast the loam now. I also don't want their meddling mage to mess me up anymore. Wasteland, Flooded Strand. Okay. Should be good then. Even got our Karakas, our infinite turns. Whew, one turn. It's close. I feel like you got a little bit like a look at like the good, the bad, and the ugly of that deck, or this deck that round. Like you got flooded the one game. Then we also had some really good chaining together Cavern of Souls. I think that was the first game. I think I missed sideboarded though, especially the last game against the meddling mages. Like being heavy on those ballistas, one of the reasons for doing that was for meddling mage itself. And all the annoying hate bears that give me problems. Yeah, this is a fun list. If you haven't seen it before, definitely keep an eye on my stream and then try the deck out for yourself. Because, yeah, it's fun figuring out the whole puzzle every game of which lands you want to use to help get you there. Basically, the creatures and the lands complement each other. No, it's not as important in this version as the Reclaimer one, but I still like it as a land to close out games towards the end of a game off of one of these bigger creatures. Since these are the only means of searching up specific lands, any singleton lands you do have need to be like good end game ones. So no like crop rotation. Well, I guess bog is something that we've been considering for this list. But like yeah, like Eye of Ugin obviously is the way you're like closing out games. I feel like Tabernacle was definitely one of those that puts a lid on certain matches. Basically, it takes them off of casting some key spell, which is the like ultimate goal of getting that card. But like I always say with the other lists too, like if you don't have Tabernacle, don't let it stop you from playing. It's just when you have a deck full of land tutors, this land is pretty good to have. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Round 3 should... It might take 20 minutes, it might be done in a second, who knows. I'm surprised. It's next round already. This event's going quickly. Alright, on the draw here. We're shipping this. Not enough mana. I am going to take a chance with this hand, though. If we find an Ancient Tomb, it could be golden. Suppose I'll put back a Golos. Just being the most expensive card. I mean, I'm probably playing the forest regardless, but... Another forest. Maybe the Glimmerpost, just to put me above 20 life and not die to... No, I think I just take basics here. Try and, like, establish myself with that. Next turn I should probably just play a Chalice on 1 still. Stop, like, crop rotations. Could also just play out Ballistas and just try and beat him. Like, as anemic and terrible as that is, that might be, like, the way we win. No, it's Chalice first. I feel like this matchup is definitely going to be a lot worse than it is for the Reclaimer list. This is also a match where I wish we had our own Vejuva. I mean, we can Vesuva theirs if we find a Vesuva. Yeah, there's so much depth to Vesuva. Like, not just in our deck, like, by itself, but involving, like, the opponent's lands, too. Like, the other day against Elves, I copied a Gaia's Cradle, and actually got my double prime time mana with that. So that was pretty sweet. Yeah, I'll put these out here. Maybe they'll go low enough with their library. I can just ping him to death. Okay, I guess not. If I drew like an Ancient Tomb, I could play Chalice on 2. I think we're dead now. I can do stuff opponent, even without mana. Go on. Wasteland is a Cloudpost. I mean, I already showed them a Ballista earlier, so I don't feel too bad about that, at least. I want fairies and the forces. Cut Ballista. We cut Thought-Knots. Beyond that, maybe just Golos. I don't know, maybe as like a slower grindy deck, these Thought-Knots are not terrible. But it's like, what am I like taking out of their hand that's worth anything though? I feel like my best way of winning this matchup is stopping their initial speed, which is like Mox Diamond Exploration. So it's going to involve these. And these are more just the draw engine fighting against that. Their draw engine. The Chalice still seems decent against them. Especially on the play. Yeah, I think it's just Golos then. Gets the cut. Maybe one of these big guys. Yeah, maybe I actually don't need Emrakul here. If it comes to something big, it'll just be Ulamog. Yeah, let's do that actually. I feel like Golos is easy on the mana and yeah, I'll probably consider removing them on the draw. I'm gonna try this. Hopefully I find like a basic forest or an ancient tomb for the Spyglass. I don't think I can turn down a Spyglass Karakas hand. I guess I would like to see forest more than anything. Oh, Cataracts. It's indestructible. Yeah, let's take that. I could play Chalice on 0 also and stop Mox Diamond. I don't know if that's worth it though. It's probably worth it saving for 1. I don't know, maybe it's just better to take a shot on 0. Indestructible lands. Yeah, let's just hope they had Mox Diamond here. Because I don't have like the Force of Vigor in hand yet, so see if I get punished for that. And I couldn't play it out on turn 1 anyway, so ooh. This is not looking bad. If they like Crop Rot Wasteland here, I gotta keep the Karakas around. Loam. They did have a Mox Diamond. Yeah, it's always Wasteland for there's nothing better. Could be Ghost Quarter. Oh, their own Ancient Tomb. It's pretty good. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit this thing now, ASAP. elementals. Good crop rots. They already used one of their crop rots here, so. Probably loam. Right. They thought they were gonna loam. Faerie Macabre. Yeah. Oh, that's annoying. This could be the death of us. Oh yeah, it's weird the way that card operates. They're just like stuck there, but it can be played. Need some lands though. I feel like it's never gonna happen now. Yeah, where's like the flood now, you know? God blast it. Need like an ancient tomb about yesterday. No more ports. If I get 7 mana, I can at least like filter into this Eye of Ugin when they go to port. And it's something to do with my mana if it gets to that. Oh, not that. That's annoying. I feel like this is the window now. We need like a tomb. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know about I don't know enough about lands or their use of sphere. I mean, if they have us locked down, which they do currently, it's not terrible at all. Oh yeah, they're only at 8 now. That is a way I've beaten lands in the past. With the Reclaimerless, granted, but sometimes they don't respect our like ability to deal damage. I used to play Sphere of Resistance in like different 12 post builds. And math can get kind of funky when you're considering like all this stuff, plus Locust lands and like candelabras and shit. Yeah, if we draw a mana source here, we can Spyglass. There's something at instant speed at least. It's like, how much longer can we go through with this? Is the thing. They're gonna blast zone. Yeah, I think we're fucked then. I mean, luckily it takes a lot of mana for them to do that, but... She'll be at the ready with the Faerie Macabre. I feel like we were like just one turn behind on a lot of this stuff. And also we needed like half of the lands from the previous match where we got flooded. I blame the Moto Shuffler for this. Like, this never happens in real life. Yeah, definitely got screwed by that eye, for sure. By Spyglass and Spheres. Big Wasteland here. Alright, I can't let this happen. I gotta just hit this right now. I'll hit Blast Zone and Wasteland. Just puts them like up in my face here. Aeons. Steps. Alright, there might be a window here now to do some stuff. I tap Karakas. Alright, I'm gonna fire this sub Once Upon a Time off now. Hope we had like a land. We did. Now the question is which land? Just Cloudpost? If I have Vesuva and my Glimmerpost, I go above 20, but I think I just take the Cloudpost. I play Spyglass. I think I name Port, and then just pray that we'd like dodge Wasteland for a turn. It's probably the best thing. Nah, you can't copy with Vesuva. Alright, let's see. I could take a Tomb. No, I don't have the mana for that. So I should just take Cloudpost. Copy the land that copies lands. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, make their stage. But yeah, I'm still like a turn behind with that. But yeah, that's a good idea, though. But I think at this point, just the Cloudpost is going to be better. Alright, let's just, Force of Vigor. Hope we dodge a green card. Or no, they'll hit Life from the Loam. Port. Yeah, I gotta turn off ports, though, here. So hopefully we get a turn. I mean, they'll dredge Loam. they'll have their Force of Vigor mana then, but then they have to pitch their Loam, which is kind of hurts them too. Yeah, they can pitch on my upkeep, so I can still probably get use out of that before they tap me. Tap me. I mean, just have to dodge Wasteland for sure too. Oh yeah, I can just cast it too. No Wasteland in the graveyard at least. All my ballistas are sided out too. I was thinking like maybe they'll be at some minuscule amount of life. Yeah, if they were to tap out and do everything here, we could probably pull ahead of them with a Golos. Interesting. Wow. Do I have enough mana for this? I don't think I do. I think I'm one short. I mean, I get a Golos at least, but... 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm one short. But I can still get a Golos. Have the Karakas up at least for a turn. See if I gain... There's Punishing Fire. I guess they might have sided that out. Could get, yeah, I just need Glimmerpost. Well, I mean, if they have Punishing Fire or this, I'm in bad shape. I could get my Glacial Chasm, but I think that's probably too set far back at that point. I think I just get Glimmerpost and take my chances with it. This is a 3-power creature. Actually needs 2 attacks. I mean, I can't really play around waste at this point, so... I mean, if I get Chasm, then I'd lose to... Yeah, I just lose to waste still anyway, so I might as well get Glimmerpost here. Oh, you're good. Gotcha, Loka. It's a complicated board state for sure. Too bad we were a little off this prime time. My Spyglass. This is fine. Make him tap my Karakas. Oh, now they just draw, they loam and get 2 lands back now, so I'm pretty sure we're just dead. Ah, man, it's close. There's a wasteland anyway. Needed to land one of those turns. It's too late though. Yeah, that was a close one. GG's. Yeah, I thought this list would probably be worse against lands. feel like we almost pulled it off, but it's a turn behind each turn. Yeah. Definitely missed crop rotation in that matchup, too. Yeah, I think I can get a league match in 9 matches. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is our first loss today. And also the most mana screwed we got in a game so far. So usually it's the opposite today. Being flooded. But yeah, this is our Stompy build. Just entirely creature based, using creatures to ramp into non-basic lands. Kill them with a big Cloudpost endgame. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the stream, the deck too. The deck's a lot of fun to play, just definitely challenging to piece together the parts sometimes. I'm gonna ship this. Usually your opening hands with this list should either have Ancient Tomb or Cloudpost. It's a good like rule of thumb of whether a hand is keepable or not. I'm gonna keep this for sure. Trying to decide if I want to put like the Thought-Knot back or a Forest. Let's put the Forest back. Let's hope we draw into another land at some point. Golos is still a long ways away, but I decided to name Scout there, just playing to what I have in hand. If you're not sure what to name, usually it's not a bad idea to just name Giant, since Primetime's your most green intensive card. But we might just get Wastelanded out of the game here. If they do that, let's at least find out what we're up against. Just Delver. Yeah, it's like one way or the other. Just never like a happy medium. Oh, weird. Preordain. Double. Yeah, I feel like it had to be Delver. Blue plus Wasteland. But yeah, I guess that is kind of not the most typical. So Chalice is just generally better. Hey, we already fought through 2 Wastelands. Also get play the Thought-Knot here. Actually be better just to start fighting through days. Or just considering I can't even play through days anyway at the moment. Don't cast Chalice. feel like in a lot of spots, even against Delver, Chalice on 2 definitely actually seem more meaningful than Chalice on 1. I probably wouldn't play it out on 2 before having 1 on 1 still. Another Preordain. How great would a Cavern of Souls be here? This next draw step. Oh, Sprite Dragon. Alright, that's not bad. Are we getting off this Golos is the next question. Karakas, just hope it survives a turn. Be recasting that every turn. I mean, you don't have much else going on, so I think that's probably right. They also might have Stifle too, by the way, but tapped out now, so it's not the worst. It's too bad I don't have like any other payoff just yet. Like if I did get to replay this Golos, I think it'd be Cloudpost next turn. I don't know if that's fast enough, but yeah, Chalice isn't even good against like this kind of a creature. Or like Pyromancer. Still get like value out of their card. Yeah, if they have 2 bolts, 6, we're just dead. Probably just have to get Glimmerpost with this one. Also go get Glacial Chasm, but then that would make me depend on having to draw like a land next turn. It might actually still be worth it. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go for Chasm here. Let's hope we dodge Wasteland and get a land next turn. I mean, over the course of 2 turns, this Karakas can be the 5th mana source that we need, if it comes to that. If you don't draw our mana source, we could definitely have stuff to cast. Yeah. I would have liked to stop all those cantrips ages ago. It would have been nice. There's Wasteland anyway. This all didn't matter. Yeah, also a Spyglass being down, protecting the from Wasteland. If this was blue-red Delver, I'd bring a couple Force of Vigors, but we saw Rug. So I'm just going to bring the Ballistas and Tabernacle. I think this is how I'm going to approach these Delver matchups. Yeah, I might have made a mistake for sure that the Thought-Knot. If I was going to play into Daze, I probably should have just played the Chalice on 2. This hand. I think I want to try it. If we get like an Ancient Tomb, it could be good. Cloudpost would be slow, but that would have potential too. Chalice on 1. Yeah, you're probably right. I just didn't think it through, to be honest. Trying to get done for this challenge. This is definitely a slow Chalice and definitely a slow start. I think I'm starting with Chalice next turn, I believe. Yeah, let's play Chalice. That Once Upon a Time didn't turn out well, though. Gotta say. I was hoping for more than a forest. Also, like a Walking Ballista would have been great there. That draw step, that is. Maybe I should have played it out as Construct, honestly. A Cavern. Wasteland. Grudge, Force of Will, Sprite Dragon. Yeah, this hand is just too slow. Need like an Ancient Tomb next turn. Or a Ballista and these Delvers to not flip. Yeah, they flipped. Yeah. If it was any surprise, Delver's still extremely challenging. I feel like this matchup should be better for this post deck at least, but you know Delver. It's always a thing. Let's Let's hope this guy gets us something. Cloudpost. There's a Cataracts there, which is an option, but I think I just need to develop mana at this point. I'm going to have a chance here. Could go get like a Tabernacle, take him off mana for a turn. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. I would die to a red source plus bolt still if they did that. But it might be worth doing that just to take him off the possibility of like casting anything else. I could also go get Glacial Chasm. Might be actually safer. I mean, they have an Ancient Grudge to eventually answer this when they find their red. Which is the reason why... I don't think I can go to 1, though. Probably just need to get some life gain here, this Golos. Go to 9. Just hope we don't get bolted this next turn. What are the odds of that, though? Yeah, we could. It's like, would we want to protect the Spyglass and then just hope we dodge it for a turn? I think we get Chasm, though. Yeah, let's get Chasm. Let's attack with this first, and then... If we live against Tabernacle, though, then... we take them off of... Yeah. Tabernacle takes away their options, but we're definitely going to go to 1 if that happens. At least. If we get Chasm... it might be worth getting Chasm, actually. Especially considering these Golos in hand. Like, it'll take a land out of us, but... I think that's fine at this point. Let's get rid of, I guess, the Elf Cavern, if we do that. And I'll bounce it back end of turn with Karakas. Damn. Yeah, he only had so many options. Like, Tabernacle would have saved us at 1, I guess, but... yeah, we're not doing too poorly in the challenge, at least. 2 and 1. What could save us here? like a Ballista, I guess. Yeah. Even that's, like, not enough, though. So I haven't tested this at all yet, but there's times where I wouldn't mind having, like, a second Glacial Chasm. Not necessarily, like, just this point, but... I see, we're just dead now. But yeah, especially, like, after getting off, like, a prime time trigger, and then if you want to get, like, an attack in with your prime time, you get a second Chasm with the next attack. If I did run it, it would be in this list. Maybe in, like, the sideboard. Just a thought, though. In this sideboard here right now, what do you guys think about, like, Mindbreak Trap versus something like Thorn of Amethyst? Like, Thorn is what Eldrazi Stompy runs, as, like, the combo hate piece. My thought with these traps was that I already have, like Chalice and these other preemptive combo hate answers. So maybe, like, mixing it up by having, like, answers that stick around in hand. But I don't know, maybe, like, Thorns are just better to suffocate opponents. I mean, we don't have the mana denial plan that like, the Eldrazi has, though, too. If I was going to run that, I would definitely run Thorns here. Yeah, I kind of like just keeping the stuff in hand. It's like a surprise. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't... It's like a pick your poison kind of situation. Like, some stuff's going to be good against whatever, but then the other option's just better in other spots. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with these Mindbreak Traps. If they, like, Echo of Aeons or those kind of cards, it's nice having, like, the possibility of finding a hate piece. These Faerie Macabres. The only other option, I guess, would be Leyline. But I just hate Leylines. And Fairy also plays pretty well with Once Upon a Time. Force of Vigor could be K-Grip. Could be Rexage. But I've come to love Force of Vigor, though. Like, this is like miles away the best naturalized effect, I feel like. God's Pharaoh statue. More like 6 mana sphere effects. Yeah, Elves is, like, definitely a pretty tough match. And this particular list is definitely weak against, weaker than the Reclaimer list against Elves. If we play against Elves, we just kind of want to try and depend on our Ballistas. Contain them that way. But yeah, Ballista is very versatile. It's, helps answer Bridge from Below's. Yeah, it's... Mindbreak Trap is iffy against Elves. Like, it can stop a early sequence if they don't see it coming, but they can also stagger their plays to not care about it at all. So in that case, it's better to try and get Ballistas out and keep the elf density as low as possible. Man. What decks is everybody else playing these days? Anybody else playing 12 posts here? There's no shortage of bad cards you could play. I mean, I would know. I played, like, Mikokuro in lists. Even worse stuff than that. I have to read that card, actually. It sounds like the Nemesis era, Sky Shroud. I gain Shroud. Remember that card called, like, Pale Moon? There's, like, a blue, something really shitty. I don't know why I thought of it right now, but that just, like, came to mind. Oh, nice Panda. Well, I mean, if you get back on Legacy's been pretty sweet recently, gotta say. Yeah, but you only get it for one turn, though. You also have, like, crop rotation. Yeah, Pale Moon, thanks. That's what the shit was. Non-basic land. It's the color blue at its greatest. And I wish Contamination, the card, was playable. Like, it's a card you always wish to, like, could be something in Legacy, but just requires too much. It's just cool that, like, black has a non-basic hate piece like that. Oh yeah, I recommend it, Vanda. And if you haven't played the Stompy list, I think you should try it too. Like, I've been enjoying this list quite a bit. Definitely there's a lot more to it than I originally thought. A lot of, like, play to it. And it's very, like, punishing if you mess up, but just stringing together the lands is quite the challenge sometimes. I mean, but Blast Zone, it's like, we'd only be searching it up unless we made it, like, a big part of the deck, like, had, like, a full 4 copies of it. We'd only be finding it off, like, Primetime or Golos. And at that point, we could probably just go to win with the Eye of Ugin. I've never really been a fan of Blast Zone, personally. Like, it would be decent in spots, but I never felt the need to have removal like that in this deck. Yeah, usually instead of just having answers, you just go for victory. As like stupid as that sounds, it doesn't really matter what they have on their board if you can just get to infinite Emrakul turns. And if things just get out of control, then you just generally use Glacial Chasm. It's just Glacial Chasm or go over the top is the way to look at it. Yeah, definitely. It's a high bar to cross to be a land in this deck. And, like, the Reclaimer list has even more singleton lands. And there'd probably be other lands I would play in this list even before Blast Zone. Probably play, like, a second Cavern in this list. I know Aiden was trying Sajiri Step for a while. I don't know if that would be worth it. Like, just to save a Reclaimer. Or protect, like, a Dark Depths token if you go for that. But yeah, the Stompy version, like, you even have less room for those kind of lands. It's just stuff that's gonna... lands that are good, like, late game. I obviously... these are the 2 late game staples. This just plays well with Golos. And then this is your panic button. And then Tabernacle out the board. Keeps a lid on certain situations. But yeah, there's definitely been times today, the past 2 rounds, where Bajuka Bog would have been handy. That's something I've been like testing in the recent weeks with this list. But yeah, I just go back and forth of whether Bog is actually worth it here. Yeah, this should be one of the better lists at handling Chasm. Just with all these effects that get multiple lands into play. Playing to the loss of land drawback of Chasm pretty well. And that's Primetime's always been pretty well with Chasm. Plus you get the Vesuvas to reset the chasms essentially. Yeah, I was considering like a second chasm out the sideboard, possibly even. Jund lands. I don't even know what that is. What's up, Macabre? The person that lives below me, they own a motorcycle and they always start it up at like 7 in the morning. Which obviously on today it's not a problem because I'm up playing Magic. But it's like, do you have to drive your motorcycle of all things? It's like such an attention grabbing like thing. It's probably why all motorcycle riders ride motorcycles. So you can hear that they're riding. What are they talking about? Probably some stupid shit. Nice. Are you playing in this challenge? Oh, okay, I got you a standard. I know nothing about standard right now. Who's Spicy Highlander? I do like spicy. It's $12,000. What's the source of this? Oh, dual lands. Bayou. Oh, there's a tabernacle. That's why. There's no way this is accurate, right? I guess some arbitrarily high amount for sure. That's crazy. Alright, on the play here. I mean, this hand has mana, it has stuff to do early, even though it's slow. I'm actually try this. I mean, if it's like a combo deck we're up against, we're probably not winning anyway, so... We do have lots of uncounterable stuff, though. Jesus. Yeah, it used to be if, like, you wanted to save, like, a couple $100, you just get Italian. Even that one's expensive now. I'll name Elf with this first Cavern, in case we draw Ancient Tomb. Wasteland. Try again. Didn't this happen last round too? 2 wastelands right off the bat. Elf number 3. Has some not mana screw at least. I should have named Construct. No, I need the green mana to Rejuvenator potentially. Alright, I feel like I should... Like, the land drop this turn is going to be super important. So, I can... I would like to play the Rejuvenator next turn. But I could also wouldn't mind using the Vesuva to copy name Ballista, name Construct, in case they play like a Delver or a Sprite Dragon, because this looks like pretty certain this is like Delver. And it might be better though to hold this Vesuva back in case I find a Cloudpost in a couple turns off the Rejuvenator. And I could just go for the Spyglass here too, protect from the last 2 wastelands. Just the sequencing of whenever I get another Cavern out is... Like, it's either this turn, I feel like, or it's going to be a couple turns before I get another chance to do that. I think I keep this Vesuva for possible value later, or just for more options. Spyglass this turn. See what's up, maybe. A Sprite Dragon, shit. Yeah, that would have been good to have that Ballista. But, I mean, I can't take him off mana at this point, so I might as well just say Wasteland and protect my future plays. There's also this Borrower gotta watch out for. Probably play Glimmerpost next turn. Hope we find a Cloudpost, but also take a Cavern. We'd also take a Vesuva, because that would be Cavern, essentially. Although, this Ballista answering the Sprite Dragon is probably a little too late now. There's Cloudpost. Next turn, how do I want to play this then? I could just fight through the counters naturally. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. I don't have a 5th mana unless I take the Cloudpost. So yeah, I think I just need to get the Cloudpost. I mean, this is my 4th Cavern right here, though. But yeah, we'll get Cloudpost. I think I just need to work towards mana at this point. What we do with the Vesuva will kind of... Basically, we have to decide what we want to do with that. If we make it a Cloudpost, make it another Cavern. I'm kind of leaning towards this Cloudpost. Just go for something big. like, how much longer do we even really have this game? We know Force of Will, Petty Theft is there. I mean, I don't think we're gonna catch up to this Bright Dragon at this point. The Chalice is good, though. I mean, I could do something. Kind of thinking... if we make this Golos uncounterable next turn, I feel like we'll have to do that. Chalice on 2 versus Blatant Theft. I probably would just go for Chalice on 2 at that point. Yeah, I think I need this Golos to resolve next turn, and my best chance of doing that is to copy this Cavern. See if this happens. Force of Negation, pitching, Force of Negation. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I should bring this revealed cards up more closely. I mean, even if they Petty Theft the Spyglass, they would still need a Wasteland beyond that. Which they always have. Because they're Delver. Good guy, Delver. That's pretty typical, I guess. So, just Force of Will is all they have left. I mean, I guess I'm playing this out here. Alright, I don't have to, do not have the mana for that. Yeah, I just hope we dodge a spell. That's the only chance we got. I only saw blue-red that game, so I'm gonna assume there's probably some Blood Moons or something nasty. Bring a couple Force of Vigors, at least. Yeah, I think we cut Thought-Knot Seer here, honestly. I don't know, I could be siding completely wrong, though. But Prime Time is just... I mean, we don't have the full 4 Force of Vigors, so... Yeah, so I was thinking for Flyers, this is just like a side, kind of. Possibly, yeah, exactly. That was where I was going. Might be the next thing to test. Mostly to stop, like, Delvers and the whale thing and all. Yeah, that reach, I think, is probably the best part of that card. Also with, like, chump block Merit Lage tokens, which I feel like this version of the deck will struggle against. I think I'm taking the chance on this. We find another Cloudpost, and we dodge Wasteland. We're golden. Man, I just don't think I can turn this hand down. Risky or not. It's Cloudpost. Probably have like 3 Wastelands. Yeah, Pro Multicolor Trample, I believe. Alright, one more Wasteland turn. It's not bad either. Yeah, thanks. Oh man. I mean, I took a risky hand of that, but yeah, I fucking hate that. We're also getting screwed over by not having the legitimate green sources here. We can check here. Yeah, they did not shuffle. Yeah, I can wasteland it a lot. Like today in general. I thought the first game this round had some pretty interesting like land drop decisions though. At least got to see like some of that. I'm re-sleeving cards right here if anybody's wondering what I'm doing. Like, it's tough to get them in to the second sleeve. He just like... mana source. Kind of a mana source. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the Hogak deck much recently at all. I don't know why it would get worse. It's a shame because I like playing against Hogak. It was nice not being able to get milled and also having Glacial Chasm to protect me from anything. Does anybody ever pay the 2 mana for Chain Lightning? Like, it must come up at some point. Instead now. Third Bolt. Like, probably comes up in, like, Rug Delver matchups and I guess any Delver with red. Man, that was a curb stomp, if you will. It's okay. I mean, you have to take risky hands with this style of deck. Wouldn't have it any other way. Oh, thank you for the follow. And good games, by the way, too. You know, you wastelanded. Or you were the last round opponent, right? I believe so. Yeah, good games earlier. Those pretty close. Yeah, I was always like one turn off with the... I was like, oh, if I could just dodge it, like Wasteland one more turn. Oh, another build of green post. Interesting. Yeah, this is kind of a weird, like, unorthodox style of the post deck. It's kind of been tested out. Just more aggressive, more stompy-like, I guess. In the spot you were at with the spheres where I was missing on my land drops, it was good. But in general, I don't think it's worth bringing in against me. Just because I expect to be above in mana usually. But in that particular spot, though, it's definitely good. So as a lands player, you know about the power of Force of Vigor, I saw. Isn't it like just like the best naturalized effect ever? Like, yeah, this is like such a game changer to me. Like, it's the first naturalize that doesn't feel like it's a chore to have to run. Like, it feels like you get to run Force of Vigor now. You can be like disruptive with it. It's not just like a protect yourself from hate card now. Yeah, I know, because yeah, lands now is like scary to like play out artifacts against because of that card now. I also play the mono blue Urza deck. Yeah, now like green decks can interact with it too because of that card. And it was definitely relevant at the end of our last game there too. That's why I thought of it. How'd you do the last round? Isn't the Red Force the one that makes like 2 tokens and you can't even like attack with them or something? Oh, Angers, gotcha. Yeah, he's always on like a spicy list. Yeah, it's like at least be able to like block with them and shits. Force of Rage. Okay, I guess you can block, but doesn't seem very rage-like. Play. See, I feel like this hand is probably a trap. I think one more mana source would be good, but we just won't draw it. This is better. I'm gonna put back a second Once Upon a Time. And then likely leave with Ancient Tomb Spyglass. I feel like this challenge, we haven't gotten many of our turn 1 Tomb artifacts on. I feel like that happened a lot more in the past, and I was playing like leagues with this. Rejuvenator follows up nicely to this tomb, but then where do I go, you know? Ballista could potentially be an answer if they play like Delver or something. Yeah, I'm gonna take Ballista because I do need like a threat at some point. Yeah, I agree. I think Force of Despair is one of the more underrated ones. It just hasn't been. People haven't found the home for it yet or spot. But it definitely doesn't feel bad. Use it against like elves or something. Seems like they're considering like forcing this. Okay, yeah, it's... I knew it had some kind of interesting wording. Not typical. Concession? It's better than I thought. They either lose to a Spyglass, or it's just something in their hand is like... Maybe their only mana source is like a fetch land or something. What do you guys think? What was the story behind that? Yeah, they're just didn't want to show us anything at that point. I did that to a Delver opponent a couple weeks ago. I turned one Spyglass, and they only had like a flooded strand, and then they just never got land all game. It was one of like the greatest feelings ever. Mana screwing Delver with my deck. Didn't think it was even possible. Yeah, this is a... It's funny how like I always just thought of this card as simply like, oh, a 2-mana Pithing Needle. But the information from looking at their hand you get is... It's like worth more than the extra 1 mana cost. Like, you get to be offensive with it in those kind of spots in a way that you just never could do with Pithing Needle. Playing lands, yeah. The Mana Denial 12 Boast deck. And maybe someday we should try and squeeze Wasteland into this. Yeah, there's gotta be some other stuff. Like, if you just happen to hit at the time when you see it with a needle, there's probably some decks where they're just screwed at that point. But off the top of my head, I can't think of something that's just loses to it. Maybe like that Turbo Forge deck. If you name Karn and like Walking Ballista, I don't think they can win then. Maybe Blast Zone too. Yeah, this is kind of a newer list in development. Kobe pair. This is the Stompy version of Post. Relying on all the creatures that can ramp into non-basic lands. Just Primetime, Golos, and Rejuvenator. I haven't seen that list in a while. So we're on the draw here. If you drew a land here, I think it would be fine. This is like a dead card, though. Yeah, that's small. This is definitely better. Either putting back Golos or Thought-Knot, I think. I've always found Chasm to still be valuable, searching it up with like a prime time. I'm gonna put Thought-Knot back. I feel like they might be like Delver, and they just had like one fetch land or something. Thank you for following, Mac2. Her numbers. Hope you're enjoying this. Forest, Vesuva, Karakas. Let's stick a basic forest here. Definitely missed crop rotation, not having it in this list. Like, obviously, we're a Chalice deck, so we can't, but it's definitely a defining card in these land-based decks, for sure. Yeah, to get to your Chasm in this deck, you just have to rush to it via, like, Golos. It's typically the fastest way. But you can get Golos off turn 3 a fair number of times. I'm gonna play this Chalice out next turn, most likely. Okay, Doomsday. Guess this Chalice on 1 is probably what our best shot here. Oh, what's SW? Oh, Street Wraith. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's actually better. Yeah, I knew that too. It's like, I play Pithy Needle. It's one of my very few pieces of interaction. Petal, Bayou, Decay, Ponder, Uro. That was a really good concession then from the opponent. Because, yeah, I would have been in the dark at least. Yeah, it's so weird. Fair game plan. So, just like the other list, we should be very weak to Doomsday. Although this one should be probably better. Just gonna bring the Mindbreak Traps and probably just the Ballistas and just hopes of whittling away their life total. Oh yeah, especially considering the pedal too. Yeah. Yeah, that was really stupid. I guess usually their draw spell is either Predict or the other 2-mana one. Yeah, as far as sideboard interaction though, these are the only things that like do something at least. It's not even that great. Like maybe Force of Vigor becomes relevant if they drop like a pedal out or something. But that's kind of a stretch. You guys enjoying this Stompy list? Probably gonna play it tomorrow in the challenge as well. I feel like the list is it's getting there, but like definitely like the play patterns and stuff to figure out for specific matchups. Still like a work in progress, which I enjoy doing with these lists. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll get back to the Reclaimer list too eventually. Definitely play that every once in a while too. This is kind of a bit taking like my attention in Magic right now. Yeah, yeah. When it works, it's like it's pretty awesome. I feel like we got I got wastelanded more today in this event than I have like the past like few weeks. It seems like. Crops, monolith keys. I feel like it's. I mean, it's definitely a valid direction we could possibly go with it. Like this particular list is more just like creature based, pretty much entirely creatures. But yeah, I've like messed around with other like assorted things to play alongside them. And like generally I come to the conclusion that I just want mostly creatures for this particular list. That's like at the expense of stuff like Monolith and there's one Street Wraith here. Why am I even wasting time? Like we're just probably dead. Like what could they possibly do that yeah, I did like a turn late. Maybe this Ballista will poke him to death. Maybe they don't have another blue mana. Oh, yeah, they do. They get any 5 cards they want. They'll definitely get it. This is something I thought about in the old list too with Ballista, although it never panned out. If you get this to be like a 3 power creature, you can force them to go to 0 in library. But yeah, it never happened actually. Yeah, I know. This is definitely a punt. And they did play a pedal out there, so I might end up just bringing these in if everything else is like pretty bad. Yeah, I have it up here, so some like Doomsday Brew. Chasm can come out. And I'll bring a couple like forces. Like why not? Yeah, Torpor Orb. Just turn off all my own creatures. Also, those cards just they always have an answer for it. They'll just include it in their pile. I've just like come to accept we're not going to win against Doomsday. I mean, you have a Chalice here, but definitely going to go for that. Yeah, it's the worst matchup by far. On the play here, I would have definitely went for 1 at first. Turn off the cantrips. I'm pretty slow at There's no guarantee I'll actually get to cast it for 2 on turn 2. Now it's like I have nothing. I could just try and, like, play a giant ballista or something. Be like the best chance of somehow pulling out victory. Probably is just still dead though. Yeah. It's like the, yeah, I guess I'll consider that a win. No, I definitely do not. I'm sure they're happier than we are. I just think, if we had our Cascading Cataracts out, and we could just hardcast a Mindbreak Trap. Could happen. Six lands, jeez. Yeah, this is definitely one of our flooded games. Just like soul crush them and they see it. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, like what would be the best possible draw here? Maybe like a Spyglass. We probably name Street Wraith. Is that or just Ballista? That's something. Put another tomb out there in case you drew like whatchamacallit? Ballista. Yeah, there's no way. Ideas unbound. Just endless possibilities. 4 cards in deck. I got so close. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's 1. No card left in library. Needed a Ballista that turn. Or even just a Rejuvenator the turn before that. That was closer than Doomsday's been, for sure. But still feels like pretty helpless. Yeah, honestly, if I feel like something like Ghost Quarter probably would be better than a lot of options against them. Like among the things I could possibly run in like a post deck. Maybe they just don't have the mana. I mean, even that's just kind of a stretch by itself. Yeah, force them to draw a card, that's true. And if only there was a way to... I know there's like Ipnu Rivulet. If you do that in response to like them playing a draw spell. But that requires a lot of setup. And gaining like your own blue mana. I'm gonna refill the water. Empty the bladder real quick, be right back. So you think we want Bajuka Bog somewhere here? When I was testing it, I was running it main deck as a 29th land. How's it going, Dan? Playing the Stompy list this morning. I feel like we have enough lands already, so That would make me want to have it in the board somewhere. Maybe replace one of these ballistas. But even then, I mean, we saw the matches where you like most would want Bojuka Bog these past 2 rounds. But then, I don't know, I'm still not certain it's actually worth it in the list. I debate that a lot. Yeah, good luck to you as well. Hope you get to lock somebody out, or just kill them with a 2020. And it's also something I miss in our own Reclaimer list. We don't have the Dark Depths combo. And not that I go for it all that often, but it was something that was there. We'll try this. Prima Plum. That's what I'm looking for. This is Elves. We are on the draw though, so this might be too slow still. If we live 2 more turns, we can get our Glacial Chasm via Golos. Jeez. I think the best bet is just to Ballista this and just hope they don't have like a Cradle or something. Yeah, Revoker wouldn't be terrible at this point. Yeah, I think this is the best possible thing to do at this one turn we're gonna get. It might not matter at all, so we'll see. Reclaimer list is definitely better against Elves, just having easy access to Glacial Chasm. But we might have to try and approach things a little differently with this version. Since we're slower to the chasm, we'll have to try and lean on the Walking Ballistas. Use early ones to just contain them, and then possibly take over the game with a later one. Oh wow. What if it's another land right there? But I'm still probably just gonna go get Chasm here. Can leave it this Spyglass and see what's up. Yeah, definitely a natural order. Just query on Ranger, I guess. Maybe Shepherd too. Yeah, it's actually named Shepherd. That way if we go to Ballista them at some point later, can't like grow them. possible I should have spent that extra 2 mana just playing Chalice out too. I need 1 more mana source now, and then with that, I will likely just get Karakas. I can probably work with this Golos then. It's useless until we can remove this. I'm pretty sure, like, it's worth it to keep it in the list, though, still. Even knowing that there's Shepherd, like, it still seems like that's a problem for them until they get this out and play. But yeah, in general, just Chalice isn't that good against it. Some of my friends, like, hate this card. They want it banned. Yeah, I like seeing what, it turns out they have Natural Order in their deck. Now I know. I'm sure they should name Artifact with this. Luckily, we still get creatures. Right? Maybe we don't. No, we can't, actually. That's gonna be rough. I don't know how we do this now. Yeah, we can't even cast creatures with that. Probably our 2 most relevant creatures are actually artifacts. Alright, so this means we're probably just ditching the chasm at this point. I would think. The other option is we just try and draw it into like a prime time or something. But I think I just try and battle against this board with what we have. This thing is too fat though, too. Yeah, I just thought... Yeah, you're right. I think we just have to try and find a prime time at this point. Like Ulamog or something. Yeah, I'm so not used to thinking of like just power and toughness being the only determining factor. Seems like in Legacy it's usually a whole bunch of other stuff. But here it's just like, oh, it's 5/6, I can't get through. Yeah, I only got a couple more draw steps though. We need to like runner. Yeah, this is much more of a problem than I realized. Definitely for this particular list. That's something. I mean, maybe we activate Golos next turn if we get the mana. We get Glimmerpost, activate Golos, hit Emrakul. That's how we win. Man, what if it actually came down to that? Pretty silly. Yeah, taking me off of Ballista is actually one of the worst parts about that. Damn. Five, yeah. I was on the top 3. Yeah, I know. It's like any other time we would have just had like unlimited lands. Alright. That makes me want to depend less on these artifacts then, knowing that. I mean, I'm still definitely going to try and rely on Ballistas to keep him from getting to that point where they're getting the Archon out. Let's cut Spyglasses. I suppose Thought-Knots are better on the play. And I think I still depend on Golos to just hope I can get to that before they get to their... whatever, their Archon guy. Yeah, we could cut some Chalice. I mean, I still like it on the play, though. Take him off a 1-drop unless it's Shepherd. I actually don't know the difference, like, the effectiveness of Chalice versus Spyglass. Like, I would think Chalice is probably better, but some Elves player would probably be able to tell me whether... I mean, they still have to find their Shepherd and get that into play before this thing is ineffective. So I'd be more willing to cut this on the draw. But yeah, my gut says this is probably, like, decent still. Until we can, like, Ballista a Shepherd or whatever. Alright, I'm gonna do 61. Yeah, I don't know about this hand. I just thought that was a Ballista instead. I'm gonna mold this. I think Ballista is just too important. This is better for sure. Yeah, all these are pretty good. Yeah, this hand looks a lot better. We'll see how effective Chalice ends up being. Do they have Mr. Shepherd Man? That's the question. Take another Ballista. I think that's probably right. Yeah, it's definitely not bad. It's good too. I hope I can find a 4th mana source. Start pumping this. Although my life total is not, like, unlimited though too. It's not great. I'll just attack here. If they want to give up their Dryad Arbor, I'm okay with that. I think I just hold off on the other one. It's probably like Abrupt Decay. It's probably collect a roof, huh? Alright. Take this natural order. Seems like the most threatening. They had Cradle, Dryad Arbor. Yeah, I guess we're just beaten down now. Or attempting to. Yeah, suddenly this hand is not looking so great. This feels like a Tabernacle turn here. I guess I should swing first with this Thought-Knot. Right. I feel like this is not what my my deck is supposed to be doing. Yeah, this will be like the one turn we kind of take him off some mana, and then Cradle should handle the rest for them. Am I playing this Ballista out? I think I am, actually. Just so I can block this. Then I pay a lot for Tabernacle myself, though. I maybe I just get rid of this guy at that point. Yeah, I think I just at least threatened to block here. Yeah, like, what's the plan now? Just try and get to prime time or something. Be a good thing for me to Vesuva. Yeah, our only hope now is just to go over the top before they kill us. Get like Golos, prime time. I'm actually going to trap this. Just because I have something to use it on. There's my chasm. Yeah, I definitely get rid of Tabernacle now. If you don't get trophy or something. Yeah, whenever I make a poor play, it rewards me with something. I mean, if this is just natural order, then I guess we weren't going to stop that anyway. For what's his face. Ah, man. Why couldn't you just be a prime time? It's so much better. This is definitely the most effective Archon of Valor's Reach. Ever played against too. It's very specific weaknesses of this build against elves. I mean, I knew this was a more difficult matchup with this particular list compared to the other one. But I didn't realize, like, to this extent. Yeah, it's only 8:30. It feels like way later. Yes, I think daylight savings time starts tomorrow, if I'm thinking correctly. So anybody that's interested in playing in the challenge thing tomorrow, definitely be aware of that. Let's see. I think we get Vesuva and copy their Cradle here. Is that better than Cloudpost, though? Maybe not. Yeah, let's actually copy the Cradle. Might be end up being the difference. You never know. But it's got to depend on prime time at some point. It's the only thing. Man, I don't like depending on these ballistas now for this situation against elves. It's definitely a glaring weakness of this. One of the other things I was thinking of testing, even though it sounds crazy, I wouldn't mind having, like, maybe instead of these ballistas, an extra pair of, like, Glacial Chasms. For the very specific, like, Glacial Chasm matchups. Just since we don't have the ability to search it up very easily in this deck, we could just find one off of either a Rejuvenator or a Once Upon a Time and just play it out like that way. Yeah, I know, it might be terrible, but this list does play pretty well with Chasm, so... And usually we can, like, pull it together from a bad spot like this. Yeah, it might be terrible, but just I think it's worth the try at least. This league hasn't turned out well. I mean, it started good, but then took a turn for the worse. But I still like this list a lot. Definitely gonna try it again tomorrow. Give it a second go. Now what do we need now? Prime time next turn still. I don't even know how that answers this now. Crowstone Wayfarer. Oh yeah, you're right. It's not a bad card. This is just like meaningless now. If you could even cast it. Oh, that sucks. Start 0-2-0, go 2-3. I don't know, then you have to get stage. Like, from the very start, it would be better to have multiple chasms to find, like, the initial one at those spots. Because we don't have an engine like Reclaimer to keep things going like that. Yeah, so thanks everyone for sticking around. I think I'm going to call it there today, though, just because this tournament's over now. I'm getting a little tired. I'm going to send you over to Phil Gallagher. But yeah, definitely tune in tomorrow for the Sunday challenge. I believe it's daylight savings tomorrow, so yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you tomorrow. I'm gonna stompy it up again, see if we can dodge more wastelands this time around. Yeah, have a good rest of your Saturday, everyone. Take it easy.